Hi, we're at the, this is Dr. Rubenstein. We're at the Brookside Museum, and we are going to be looking at the Three Sisters Festival and see what's going on here. So I'm going to turn this around and see if they let us video. That's an interesting building over there.
Yeah.
I should take a look at it later.
Sign on it.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it later. Maybe, maybe not. Here we go. National Register of Historic Places.
But you are registered, so you're good. And for a $5 donation, you get to take months ago. And there's a schedule over there.
Hi, I also registered this morning.
We're in Ballston Spa.
Oh, yes, I recognize that name. I typed it in last night.
Spelled just like it sounds.
Here is the schedule of events for today.
Thank you very much. You're like me.
Okay, you do that.
Come on in.
It's got like arts.
So,
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah. I only saw.
so we're in the museum,
Yeah.
and we'll take a look around and see what they got here.
I went on Facebook and I was like, yeah, 2 to 9. Games and free visual over there next. Yeah. We got like food and stuff.
Conklinville Dam, Skinadaga Reservoir. Oh,
I remember that one was taking over there. I remember. Wasn't it painted there? Do you know where it came from? Dave's ex-wife Carla.
High Springs Rock.
Lake itself came from Grandpa's
Let me
dad.
take a look at that.
And when she painted whatever.
Pretty typical of small museums in a lot of ways.
And I made a big visual game.
Threshing crew, grill, residents.
So Suze was by the
Pretty typical of most of these small museums. First Nations. Mohawk Mohican people care for the land. Sarasota County. Both camped here. Mohicans at Fish Creek in Saratoga Lake. Mohawks displaced the Mohicans. Yeah, moved through east of the Hudson. Yes. And the beaver pelt. Projectile points. William Johnson's High Spring. Lieutenant Colonel. Well, it says Major. I was wearing Lieutenant Colonel. Well, I don't know. I don't know why they would put Lieutenant Colonel on a Major. But, who knows? Recent book. Gift shop.
Sorry, Eric, I'm leaving it upstairs. You're good.
Somebody talked to
Oh, children's section.
Jack. He's looking for a mic stand. Right? You know, I told him there's a podium. He said they prefer to have a mic stand. This is. I don't think that's only for the speaker. Unfortunately.
Damn right. Saratoga Springs, people think gambling was possibly in the 1830s.
I didn't see anybody, and I'm trying to.
Thoroughbred racing in 1870.
He just asked me to.
Riley's. And there's a roulette wheel. Huh. Interesting. Atlantic Company Railroad. Delaware and Hudson. That must be where the festivities are occurring. About 10 minutes. Friday at Four Corners. I'll let you take a study of that. And this must be crafts. Native American artifacts. These don't look original. These look like bought. I could be wrong. Luther Forest. Huh. Atwood. Interesting. No. Railroad tracks. Wow. Yeah, Saratoga, known for jacking. Sacks. Huh. Parlor stove. It's okay. Wow.
I didn't see that.
Now, we're going to go up to the presentation here and see what's going on. Well, the next thing we're going to have is a presentation on the Three Sisters Garden. And this is a Three Sisters Garden right here behind me. Well, in front of me. Hold on. Beans, corn, and squash. All grown together. See the corn, you see the squash, and the beans right there. Three Sisters Garden. And that's what our presentation is going to be on here today.
Can I just show you? Sure, all right. So here's Google for me.
So we'll start in a few moments.
You have the microphone and you have it. Yep, I don't have a microphone. A couple of minutes early because it's getting a little toasty out here in the sun. So thank you for your patience while you wait for this part of the program. I'm Maureen Walsh. I'm a former trustee, a former treasurer, and I also like to garden. So I got involved in the gardens here 4 or 5 years ago, and I've been doing the Three Sisters Garden for, I think this is my 4th year. It's our 3rd year having this festival, so we're really glad to have folks come back or anyone new that has just come to join us. So thank you for being here. We encourage you to learn more about our organization, check out our webpage, become a member. We always have great programs happening here. So I will tell you about growing a Three Sister Garden, and then at 2:35 Joe will take over the presentation with his Native American stories and his take on things. So has anyone here ever grown a Three Sisters Garden, or have you heard about it? Have you grown one? Okay, and so it's a Native American tradition to have the three crops growing together. The corn is planted first. Typically, I've done these on mounds. I have 6 or 8 mounds in the garden, and I plant the corn first, and wait till the corn gets about a foot high, and at that time you plant pole beans. So you do want to have a bean that will climb around the corn stalk and have that support while the bean grows. And then the third sister is squash. So the squash are on the perimeter of that mound, and the job of that third sister is to help keep pests away. The branches and the stalks, if you've ever touched a squash plant, you know they're really prickly. So the raccoons and rabbits and little creatures don't like to walk on the prickly leaves and vines. So the squash also helps add nutrients to the soil. So the 3 crops together are called companion crops. You've probably heard of companion planting. It is a process that dates way back in our northeastern history to Native American tribes. If you haven't already, you can grab one of these brochures, and there's a little bit more information about the history of this long history of planting these companion crops together. A lot of times there are challenges with gardens. If you are gardeners, you know that one year you're battling one thing, and then if not, then the next year you're going to battle it. If you visited our museum in the last month or so, I've had a netting up about this high with the white, just white netting so that the air gets through and the lights get through. And today it was like unveiling the bride. I got to take it off and let everybody see it, because last year after a rainstorm we had a couple of raccoons pay a visit to the garden and took out half my corn. So I didn't want that to happen this year. So I was glad to have it out from under the veil. I've often thought, what did the Native Americans do when they didn't have some of the modern conveniences that we have planting a garden? And some of what I read is that they would build a podium and have young children sit on the podium and scare animals away, because it's a constant battle. So that's one of the things they did. They also hung gourds. They would dry a gourd and put seeds inside, and so it would make a noise. I didn't have time to put that plan into action, but so I did get some wind chimes, just like a natural bamboo wind chime to when the fence shakes, it makes a little sound. So far I've done pretty well with keeping the pests out this year.
You couldn't find any kids to hire and make a little podium?
Yes, there was no one willing to do that job. So I didn't get any takers on that. I have been battling powdery mildew. If you're gardeners and you've experienced that on the squash plants this year, so I've cut a lot of those back and I've tried to use various remedies, like there's a milk and water mixture to spray on the leaves, or also a baking soda and a little bit of dish soap. So I can't say I'm winning the battle yet, because it's been very rainy, as you know, and then if it rains in the evening, it settles on the leaves. But I have a lot of blossoms that I hope will turn into something, and I'm hopeful because there's a lot of color there. Does anyone have any questions about this?
So high.
This is the highest it's been since I've been doing it. This is my 4th year, and it's
Corn that high.
we do get a lot of sun here, so I think that's very helpful. But yeah, I mean, usually it's probably 3 feet shorter than that. It's been the highest I've seen. It is ornamental corn, and it's not sweet corn. We do use heritage seeds to plant everything in the ground. So the corn is not edible. The squash is gooseneck squash, which if you've ever seen it, it's really cute. It's also very delicious. And the beans, I'd have to say this year the beans are a little bit better than they've been in recent years too. If you can see the bean wrapping around, this is like the perfect example of this one. A good specimen. So, if there are no more questions,
I tried it for the first time this year. I ordered some Native American seeds online and failed miserably. But I just learned a couple of things that I could try next year. Things ate the corn right off. And I replanted it. I've got 2 little stalks of corn this high. And
yeah,
anyway, but I'll try again next year.
well, and every year I learn something different. And the first year I planted the corn and the beans together, and the corn really needs a head start to get strong enough to get those beans wrapping around the stalk.
So it's like a weird summer.
And I think it's been everything. Yes, it's been very neat. But there's so much sun here. That's a great place to grow a garden. There's so much sun.
The corn's so
Yes.
tough.
If the corn isn't edible, do you use it, like you still harvest it?
We do harvest it and use it for decorative purposes when we have a fall program.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I was wondering.
yes, we do. We definitely do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And it is very tall.
It is very tall.
Right? Like, I was thinking the same thing. You stole my question. I come up with a different
I've been wondering that myself. I've gone by cornfields trying to chart my progress, and some of them are ahead of me, and some of them are like, oh, I'm doing okay. So
They're amazing, and the tallest corn I've ever seen in my life.
it is. It seems to be a record. I like that.
The nitrogen from the beans is making it higher.
Yes. Well, right. The nitrogen from the beans is making it higher, and I think the beans
Keeps adding to the
beans
soil.
were a little better this year than they've been in other years, so that definitely is a contribution. That's the whole idea of the 3 sisters helping each other.
What kind of beans?
They're pole beans. They're heritage. It's a heritage bean, and I'm not exactly sure what the brand is. Kathleen, our head gardener, buys the beans. Kathleen, do you buy from a?
I buy from Monticello. From Monticello.
Monticello. Okay. And yeah, so you buy from there every year. Is that correct? And they have good beans. The gooseneck squash is outstanding. I'm just waiting for it to make its appearance. Okay, so if there are no more questions, you can make your way to the shade.
Thank you.
And that's our presentation here.
I'll try again next year.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Well, that was the presentation. They're answering questions right now. But it was interesting. I find some of his things interesting. But it was an interesting talk. It's been a good day. So at that, please subscribe, ring the bell, hit the like button, and have a good day.
Nations got together to decide who they would be supporting, children or the parents. That was, and they couldn't decide.